You made some groundbreaking announcements at CES, and in particular, one area I'm very curious about is robotics. What excites you the most about the possibilities when it comes to robotics now with tools such as Cosmos or World Foundational Models?
We're at an incredible time with robotics. The critical technologies necessary to build general humanoid robotics is just around the corner. And one of the critical pieces of technology is an AI model that understands the world. Just as we have an AI model that understands language now with ChatGPT and Llama and such, we need a world model, a language model of the world. The world needs robots. And one of the reasons for that is we just don't have enough workers. You know, there's a aging population and a changing in preference of the type of work that people want to do, and the birth rate is declining, and the world needs more workers. And so the timing is really relatively imperative that we have robotic systems. The technology of building general humanoid robots, which is going to be the most useful, of course, because we built the world around ourselves. That technology is incredibly hard to do. But for the very first time, with transformers and these large language models and the breakthroughs that we're seeing with foundation models, we finally have the technology necessary, we think, to be able to make a real contribution in this area. There are several things that we have to bring together. First, the robot has to understand us, and the breakthroughs in ChatGPT, for example, has really made that possible. But what's missing is that we now need a AI that understands the physical world. It has to understand the dynamics of the physical world, like gravity, inertia, friction, and it has to understand spatial relationships and geometric relationships, and common sense things like object permanence and things like that. And so we went off to create essentially the ChatGPT or the Llama of world models, and it's called World Foundation Model, just like a language foundation model. This is a foundation model that understands worlds. And so if we could create such a thing, and that's what Cosmos is, and we made it available openly for everyone, hopefully this will really ignite and accelerate the development of robotics.
I love that. And when it comes to teaching robotics, I know there were some announcements made around Isaac Root as well, especially around virtual reality training. Where do you see the future of that, or the possibilities of that opening up for?
Well, the first part of training an AI is you have to give them foundation knowledge.
Yeah.
Okay, common sense knowledge. The second part is you have to fine-tune them in skills. You have to teach them things, and the way you teach a general robotics is kind of like the way you teach a person. You show it to them, and so you use human demonstration, and you show them this is the way you pick up a glass. But every time the glass is a little bit different, its position a little different, the height's a little different, and the shape's a little different, and yet it's basically picking up a glass of water. And so using Isaac Root, we could do a few human demonstrations, and then using AI, using Cosmos and Omniverse to generate a whole bunch of future versions of it. And so then we generate a whole bunch of versions of different sizes and different locations and placements, and we give all of that training data, like invitation data, to the robot to learn from. And so now it learned a whole bunch of generalized versions of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it feels like there's endless amounts of versions, and that's what this is solving, is by giving those versions for training the robot.
That's right. So instead of giving it just one example, we're giving that robot millions of different examples.
Imagine robots battling the fierce flames of Southern California's wildfires, a scenario made possible by cutting-edge AI developments from Nvidia, led by visionary researcher Jim Fan. He's not just amplifying the potential of AI in firefighting, but also hinting at a game-changing innovation on the horizon. With Nvidia's latest strides, could we be on the brink of witnessing robots tackle roles humans never could? As CEO Jensen Huang hints at a ChatGPT moment for robotics, this seismic shift may soon transition from concept to reality. Welcome back to Investocracy.
You're mentioning Omniverse as well, and that's something that I'm very, very fascinated with, especially when it comes to virtual training in industries such as manufacturing. How do you see those industries evolving with using the Omniverse for training purposes?
Well, the robotics industry has a hard time getting off the ground because it's hard to train a robot. And you have to create a whole bunch of experiences for the robot. And it's also hard, it's also dangerous to train a robot in the physical world. And so we created a virtual world where a robot could, a playground for a robot essentially. And so this Omniverse is a virtual playground. To the robot, it feels like the real thing because it obeys the laws of physics and things look real. And to the robot, it can't tell the difference. And so we train the robot in this virtual world called Omniverse, and we create a whole bunch of scenarios for the robot to learn from. Now, when the robot learned how to be in Omniverse and do a task in Omniverse, we take that robot brain and we put it into the real robot. And if the real gap is as small as possible, the robot can't tell the difference. Yeah, that's the incredible part. And so this virtual world, this digital twin of the world is what Omniverse was created for.
It's amazing. And it saves so many, I'm sure, resources and time if the training was done otherwise.
Yeah, otherwise it's just be impossible. If you were to train a robot, say, to learn how to walk in the physical world, it would be learning in human time, linear time.
Yeah.
But in Omniverse, we could create so many different multiverses, if you will, that the robot is learning in parallel, maybe 100,000 different ways. And so we'd take what would have taken 10 years to train a robot to do, we basically reduced it down to a few hours. And so, imagine if we had a multiverse, how smart we would be, So all the different versions of Tiffany would be learning math here, learning science there, learning English there, learning geography there, and we simultaneously learn it all at the same time. And that's essentially what Omniverse does.
Jim Fan's enthusiasm isn't just a snapshot of a futuristic movie. It's grounded in the palpable promise of technology. Picture this: a battalion of AI-powered robots fearlessly battling fires, resilient in the face of danger where human fragility would falter. During a demonstration in China, these robots showcased their ability to navigate perilous environments and carry loads heftier than even the sturdiest humans. As Southern California wrestles with rampant wildfires, Nvidia's AI prowess couldn't have emerged at a more crucial time. These fires, fanned by relentless Santa Ana winds, have devoured over 5,000 buildings, spelling chaos for a $10 trillion property market and testing the very resilience of California's insurance framework. This is no moment for hyperbole. It's a scene demanding innovative solutions. But before going on with the video, are you into cryptocurrency? If so, check out our second channel, Investocracy Crypto. We bring you breaking news, expert analysis, and the latest trends in the fast-moving world of digital assets. Whether you're a seasoned crypto investor or just curious about the future of finance, we've got something for you. Click the link in the description to subscribe to Investocracy Crypto now. Don't miss out and stay ahead of the game. Now, let's get back to the video.
So, humanoid robots, my friends, the ChatGPT moment for general robotics is just around the corner. And in fact, all of the enabling technologies that I've been talking about is going to make it possible for us in the next several years to see very rapid breakthroughs, surprising breakthroughs in general robotics. Now, the reason why general robotics is so important is whereas robots with tracks and wheels require special environments to accommodate them, there are three robots in the world that we can make that require no green fields. Brownfield adaptation is perfect. If we could possibly build these amazing robots, we could deploy them in exactly the world that we've built for ourselves. These three robots are, one, agentic robots, and agentic AI, because they're information workers. So long as they could accommodate the computers that we have in our offices, it's going to be great. Number two, self-driving cars. And the reason for that is we spent 100+ years building roads and cities. And then number three, humanoid robots. If we have the technology to solve these three, this will be the largest technology industry the world's ever seen. And so
We think that the robotics era is just around the corner. The critical capability is how to train these robots. In the case of humanoid robots, the imitation information is rather hard to collect. And the reason for that is, in the case of car, you just drive it. We're driving cars all the time. In the case of these humanoid robots, the imitation information, the human demonstration is rather laborious to do. And so we need to come up with a clever way to take hundreds of demonstrations, thousands of human demonstrations, and somehow use artificial intelligence and omniverse to synthetically generate millions of synthetically generated motions. And from those motions, the AI can learn how to perform a task.
Investing in Nvidia could feel like betting on a beloved team at the Stock Market League Finals, especially when the team's captain, Jensen Huang, confidently introduces Cosmos at CES in Las Vegas, a foundational model poised to propel robotics into a new era. It's like he's saying, strap in for the ride of your investment life. But before going any further, if you made it this far into the video, thank you. These videos take a lot of effort and time to make, so if you enjoyed them, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. This goes a long way in helping us grow. That said, back to the video.
DGX-1 revolutionized artificial intelligence. The reason why we built it was because we wanted to make it possible for researchers and startups to have an out-of-the-box AI supercomputer. Imagine the way supercomputers were built in the past. You really have to build your own facility, and you have to go build your own infrastructure and really engineer it into existence. And so we created a supercomputer for AI development for researchers and startups that comes literally one out of the box. I delivered the first one to a startup company in 2016 called OpenAI, and Elon was there, and Ilya Sutskever was there, and many of NVIDIA engineers were there, and we celebrated the arrival of DGX-1, and obviously it revolutionized artificial intelligence and computing. But now artificial intelligence is everywhere. It's not just in researchers and startup labs. You know, we want artificial intelligence, as I mentioned in the beginning of our talk. This is now the new way of doing computing. This is the new way of doing software. Every software engineer, every creative artist, everybody who uses computers today as a tool will need an AI supercomputer.
Nvidia stock stands on the brink of a significant leap, with analysts forecasting upward trends due to their AI advancements and potential integration into crucial sectors like disaster management. Nvidia's position isn't just strong, it's reinforcing itself daily, riding high on a wave of technology that could redefine firefighting and many other facets of daily life. Are you poised to be part of this revolution? Will you dive into the tech-driven future Nvidia is orchestrating, or stand aside and watch the world adapt? Share your thoughts. And finally, if you would like to know what companies like Nvidia have been up to these past few days, go ahead and click on the next video on your screen. See you there.